So I thought I'd do a quick video after watching KSI, Tommy Fury. Yeah, interesting fight. It wasn't the greatest of boxing matches, but I guess there's a couple of things that can be taken away from that. KSI really adopted a kind of freestyle karate stance and footwork and using that kind of lead hand to get in and out with that big overhand right, which was quite interesting to watch. And you could kind of see how maybe Tommy were really struggling with that kind of approach, and I think sometimes that's it's one of those things that when I spar with people, especially if they come from like a boxing background, like, you know, taking them out of their normal patterns of being in a boxing stance, establishing the jab, and the footwork and things like that, it can really create problems. So although it wasn't a great fight, probably a really good example of how to use and mix up different patterns in fights and spars to really throw off your opponent. The other thing, sorry, that's my cat. The other thing to kind of consider as well is the clinch. So like KSI were kind of jumping in, doing that little bit of a blitz action, and then ending up in kind of clinch. And there were a lot of kind of backlash around kind of KSI and Tommy not really engaging. And I think for Tommy it's probably quite hard. A lot of the time from kind of watching the fight, you could see KSI getting the underhook, and once the person who engages and gets the underhook, they're really sort of dictating what happens in the clinch. Overhooks and stuff, there's obviously lots of options, but when you're a boxer and probably not used to that kind of prolonged wrestling and using underhooks as well, really throw it off your game. His head position as well was quite low, so making it really difficult to get any kind of clean shots. That's why there were a lot of rabbit punches to the body. So probably not the best boxing match to use as an example, but from a martial arts point of view, probably a great example to look at throwing people off the patterns. There are a lot better fights out there as well, but found it really interesting. Thought I'd do a quick video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. What do you think? Put something in the comments, and like, subscribe or don't. But it'd be great to hear kind of other people's feedback. I really appreciate people have been sending messages and comments, especially on some of the technique stuff. It's nice to hear that, kind of the critique and how they changed some of the things. So really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm getting out of here because it's absolutely freezing.